Good morning to all. Today we are going to learn about last topic, the world between wars. The consequences of the world wars. Consequences means what? After the world wars, World War One and World War Two, what happened? What are the changes occurred in the society? The World War had a long-lasting impact on the politics and society and economy of the world. In that, some important consequences there. First one, enormous human cost, democratic principles asserted, a change in the balance of power, new international organizations, and last one, enfranchisement of women. Enfranchisement means right to vote for the women. Okay, in that first one, enormous human cost. What is that enormous human cost? Human cost means after the world wars, most of the people were die. So how many people were die in that two world wars? Observe here. According to the first world war, almost 10 million people were killed in the first world war. And next one, in second world war, 20 to 25 million people were die in the second world war. Most of those who died were men only. Almost all of them were under 40 years of age. The two wars also established a regime of lethal arms race. Lethal means dangerous arms. And also, almost all the people are getting fear about developments of the different countries. What are the developments? Particularly nuclear weapons and chemical weapons. So almost all the people are fear about that dangerous developments in the society. If any accidents are occurred at the time, it is dangerous to the society or dangerous to the world also. Mostly about chemical and nuclear weapons. Okay, right. Now we'll discuss about democratic principles asserted. Democratic principles asserted means what it is. So almost in the world, after that two world wars, undemocratic countries, mostly they become as a democratic countries. Initially, so they are in that mostly. Now we'll discuss about democratic principles asserted. After the two world wars, most of the world countries they can change their political system. Means they become as a democratic nations or democratic powers. What are that? Initially, the particular countries are, most of the countries are, they followed as empires or monarchy rule. So this kind of. So now they become as a democratic nations. Almost after the second world war, most of the countries are, they become as a democratic nations. When the first world war, after that first world war, several empires also ended in that. What are the several empires were ended? Like Austro-Hungarian Empire, Russian Empire, and the Ottoman Empire, and German Empire. So these are all ended, means disappear in the world. That means they can change their positions. Okay. Next, you can observe that, for example, Russia. In Russian country, they followed that socialistic, and a socialistic revolution occurred in that. While other countries like Germany, the monarchy rule was ended and they became as a Weimar Republic. Understand? Next, in that Ottoman Empire was replaced by democratic and secular state in Turkey. The Ottoman Empire was replaced by democratic manner and secular state in Turkey. Similarly, during the First World War, the demand of their subjects, the colonialists accepted the principle that self-government is desirable in the colonies. After the First World War, most of the colonies were decolonized. Decolonized means what? Before it is, most of the countries were occupied by the other countries, European countries. They followed colonial system. They established their colonies and rule. And after that, the Europeans, they gave independence to the most of the countries after the wars, like India. India also got independence after the Second World War. Means India is a decolonized country after the Second World War. A new independence. Several countries were started their independence. They became as independent nations. Mostly Asia and Africa. And next important one, change in the balance of power. With the World War I, Germany, Austro-Hungarian Empire, Russia and Turkish Empire. So these are all came to be end, means disappear. The entire map of Eastern and Central Europe was redrawn on the basis of nationality, economic viability and military security. When the World War II came to be an end, the map of the world changed yet again, and ex-colonies rose to become as independent nations. We already learnt like Asian related and African related and others in the world countries. New international organizations are there. What are that new international organizations came into existence after the First and Second World Wars? After the First World War, you know that League of Nations were formed for the resolve disputes and peacefully and collective cooperation and collective security. But it was failed. We know that information. Next, after that Second World War, United Nations Organization UNO was formed after the World War II. United Nations is one kind of world government and largest political organizations in the world, mainly based on the 4 principles. What are that 4 principles are there? Preserve peace, upholding human rights, respect international laws, and last one, promote social progress. So these are the important principles of the UNO. You already know that. So when it was established, that 1945 October 24. Headquarters, New York. Most of the UNO headquarters, UNO related headquarters are located in Geneva. And some other organs also there, UNO, under the control of UNO. UNESCO, United Nations Educational, Scientific and Cultural Organization. It is very useful for children and also science and cultural organizations. And next one it is UNICEF, United Nations International Children's Educational Fund. It is also useful for children and development purpose and also education mainly. Okay, right. UNESCO headquarters Paris. UNICEF headquarters, where it is? UNESCO Paris. UNICEF New York. And next one it is World Health Organization. Where it is that World Health Organization headquarters? Geneva, located in Switzerland. And next one it is ILO, International Labour Organization. Several other organs also there, organizations. Okay. And next, the UNO, despite being accused of becoming a tool of great powers like USA, Russia, has managed to prevent wars on the scale of Second World War. And last one it is enfranchisement of women. After a long struggle for the political rights. What are the political rights? Right to vote, mostly for women members. They are facing problems from the long history. Okay, so at the same time, British women got right to vote in 1918. And next, several other countries also got right to vote. You already know that French women in 1946. Next, which country gave a first right to women, right to vote to women? You know, do you know that? New Zealand. And next, after that Second World War, UNO established in 1945 October 24. So most of the countries, they gave right to vote to all the people only after the Second World War. India also got right to vote after independence. 1947 August 15. Similarly, other countries, Switzerland women got right to vote in 1971. Similarly, recently some Muslim countries also gave right to vote to the women. Recently, Dubai, United UAE, United Arab Emirates. And now, so next one, so during the world wars and the war situation time, most of the men, they are very busy with battlefields. At the same time, more women members had to work in factories, shops, offices and voluntary services, hospitals and schools. At the same time, they can complete their household work also. Finally, they fight for their right to equality, equal with man and work and everything. Finally, they achieved their desires. You already know in that French Revolution, the women only the winners, breadwinners. They began raising their voice for that equality in all walks of the life. Thank you. War situation during World War. మరిన్ని వీడియోస్ కోసం మా ఛానల్ని సబ్స్క్రైబ్ చేయండి, షేర్ చేయండి అండ్ ఫైనల్లీ క్లిక్ ఆన్ ది బెల్ ఐకాన్. థ్యాంక్ యూ.